Skol, Vikings Nation. Training Camp 2025 is in full swing at TCO Performance Center, and the energy is electric. Picture this. The sun's blazing, pads are crashing, and our Minnesota Vikings are grinding to build a championship roster. But the big story. Our cornerback room is stealing the spotlight, and one name is rising fast. Dwight McGlothern. Is this undrafted gem about to shake up the depth chart? Let's dive into the latest Vikings news and unpack what's brewing. Last season, our secondary was a turnover machine, snagging 9 of the team's league-leading 24 interceptions. But with key veterans like Stephon Gilmore and Shaq Griffin gone, there's pressure on our young corners to step up. Byron Murphy Jr. is the undisputed CB1, but the battle for the other spots is fierce. Can McGlothern, a kid who barely saw the field last year, make a case for serious playing time? Stick with me, because this story's just getting started. Here's the hook. McGlothern's been turning heads with back-to-back interceptions in camp, and the buzz is real. Could he be the answer to our cornerback questions? Or is this just a flash in the pan? Let's break it down, scene by scene, and see if this kid's got what it takes to wear the purple and gold in September. What's your take, Vikings fans? Drop it in the comments and let's get this Skol chant going. Byron Murphy Jr. is the king of our secondary, and nobody's touching that crown. The dude's a playmaker, racking up 14 career picks and leading our corners with 30 of the team's 95 passes defended last season. His ability to bait quarterbacks and shut down receivers makes him the anchor of Brian Flores' defense. But behind him, the depth chart is a battleground, and the stakes are high. Who's got the juice to lock down CB2 and CB3? Isaiah Rodgers, our new CB2, brings speed and swagger from his time in Philadelphia. He's been a lock with the first team through OTAs and camp, showing he can hang with the best. Then there's Jeff Okudah, the former number 3 overall pick, who's been a surprise frontrunner for CB3 in nickel packages. Despite injury struggles, Okudah is commanding reps and looking like a veteran ready to prove himself. But here's the question. Can these guys hold off the young guns pushing for a spot? Mekhi Blackmon, a third-year corner, was supposed to be a contender, but a torn ACL last year set him back. He's mixing in with the first team occasionally, but right now he's trending towards CB4. That's where things get interesting because Dwight McGlothern is making noise. Who do you think deserves that CB4 spot? Blackmon's experience or McGlothern's upside? Let me know below. Let's talk about Dwight McGlothern, the undrafted rookie who's got Vikings Nation buzzing. Signed after the 2024 NFL Draft, this kid was a top 200 prospect on Arif Hassan's consensus board, a steal for a UDFA. Coming out of Arkansas, where he transferred from LSU, McGlothern showed he could ball against SEC competition, snagging 7 interceptions and 23 passes defended in his final 2 seasons. His 91.3 PFF grade in 2023 was the highest among all FBS corners. Pretty elite, right? At 6 feet 2 inches and 185 pounds, McGlothern's got the length Flores loves in his zone-heavy scheme. His 4.47-second 40-yard dash shows he can keep up, but his subpar explosive metrics and concussion history scared teams away on draft day. Still, his instincts and ball skills are undeniable. Think Xavier Rhodes with a chip on his shoulder. Can he translate that college flash to the NFL? That's what we're all dying to know. McGlothern's moment came against the Chicago Bears last season, where he thrived in limited action, allowing 0 catches on 2 targets. Now, he's building on that in camp and the hype is real. Have you seen this kid's potential? Could he be our next shutdown corner? Hit the comments and let's talk about it. Training camp is where dreams are made, and McGlothern's making the most of it. Picture this. It's Tuesday, the pads are on, and Sam Howell's airing one out. McGlothern reads the route, undercuts Rondale Moore, and snags a gorgeous interception. The crowd at TCO Performance Center goes wild. That's back-to-back days with picks for Nudie, as the team calls him. Is this kid for real or what? SI.com's Will Raggets tweeted, "Second straight day with an interception for Dwight McGlothern. All he does is make plays." That's the kind of buzz that gets coaches' attention. Brian Flores' defense thrives on ball hawks, and McGlothern's showing he can be that guy. His patience and route anticipation are straight out of a veteran's playbook. Can he keep this up against tougher competition? Veteran Byron Murphy Jr. is singing his praises, pointing to a pass breakup against Brandon Powell as proof of McGlothern's twitchy athleticism and leverage. With the first preseason game against the Houston Texans just 10 days away, McGlothern's got a chance to shine on a bigger stage. What's your prediction for his preseason performance? Drop it below. Let's zoom out and look at our secondary as a whole. Last year, the Vikings led the NFL with 24 interceptions, and our corners were a big part of that. But losing Kyrie Jackson to a tragic accident and veterans like Gilmore and Griffin has left gaps. Flores is known for his creative coverages, and he needs players who can read and react. McGlothern's zone instincts fit like a glove. But can he crack the rotation? The depth chart is crowded with talent. Mekhi Blackmon's got the edge for CB4, but he's still shaking off rust from that ACL injury. Zamea Vaughn, another UDFA, is turning heads with his length and movement, while veterans like Khalif Hailassie and Reddy Stewart are fighting for scraps. McGlothern's recent picks give him a leg up, but the pressure's on to keep performing. Who's your pick for the dark horse in this group? The Athletics' Alec Lewis says Flores has telegraphed his plan with Murphy, Rodgers, and Okudah as the top three, but injuries or slip-ups could open the door for McGlothern. With joint practices against the Patriots coming up, those reps will be huge. Can McGlothern seize this moment and force his way into the conversation? Let's hear your thoughts. Flashback to McGlothern's college days for a second. At LSU, he was a two-way star in high school before locking down receivers in the SEC. After transferring to Arkansas, he became a turnover machine, with 4 picks and 10 passes defended in 2022 alone. His 2023 season was even better, allowing just 12 receptions on 25 targets for 132 yards. That's lockdown stuff, Vikings fans. NFL scout Lance Zierlein nailed it. Ball-hawking cornerback with the eyes, instincts, and ball skills to flip the field. McGlothern's not the most explosive athlete, but his ability to read quarterbacks and jump routes is special. In Flores' cover 3 heavy scheme, that's gold. Can he bring that college magic to the pros, or will his limitations hold him back? His preseason last year was a teaser. An 87.3 PFF coverage grade, 1 interception, and just 7 yards allowed on 44 snaps. That's the kind of stat line that makes you sit up and take notice. With more reps in camp, he's showing he's not a one-hit wonder. What's the ceiling for this kid in purple? Share your hype in the comments. Let's talk about Brian Flores' defense because it's the heartbeat of this team. Flores loves versatile, instinctive players who can disguise coverages and make quarterbacks pay. McGlothern's interception against Sam Howell on Tuesday was a perfect example. Patient, disciplined, and explosive at the catch point. That's the kind of play that gets you on the field in Minnesota. Veteran Harrison Smith, a Vikings legend since 2012, is mentoring McGlothern, and you can see the impact. It's a blessing just being in Harry's presence, McGlothern said. He's soaking up knowledge from Smith and Murphy, learning how to read routes and stay one step ahead. Can this mentorship turn McGlothern into a starter down the line? The Vikings' first-team defense has been dominant in camp, with Jonathan Greenwood wrecking plays and the secondary locking things down. McGlothern's ability to hang with the second unit and still make splash plays is raising eyebrows. How big of a role do you see him playing this season? Let's talk about it. The preseason opener against the Houston Texans is looming, and it's a golden opportunity for McGlothern to prove himself. Last year, he barely saw the field, logging just 19 defensive snaps in 5 games. But his performance against the Bears, 0 catches allowed on 2 targets, showed he's got the chops. Now, with a full camp to shine, he's making a case for more. Kevin O'Connell's been vocal about McGlothern's growth, praising his cover skills and fit in the defense. With Okudah and Rodgers ahead of him, the path to snaps isn't easy, but injuries or inconsistency could change that fast. If McGlothern balls out in the preseason, could he leapfrog Blackmon or even challenge Okudah? What's your gut telling you, Vikings fans? The hype around McGlothern is growing, with posts on X calling him a playmaker and the future of our secondary. But camp heroes don't always translate to Sundays. Can he keep the momentum going when the lights come on? Drop your predictions below. Let's get real for a second. Our cornerback room has question marks. Murphy's a stud, but Rodgers and Okudah are still proving themselves, and Blackman's coming off injury. The Vikings didn't draft a single corner in 2025, which raised eyebrows, and big-name free agents like Jair Alexander and Jalen Ramsey signed elsewhere. That puts the pressure on guys like McGlothern to step up. VikingsTerritory.com called McGlothern's back-to-back picks a sign that Minnesota might not need outside help after all. His ability to make plays in camp is making the brain trust look smart for signing him as a UDFA. But the NFL's a different beast. Can he handle the speed and physicality of pro receivers? What's the biggest challenge you see for him? With the roster cut-down deadline on August 26th, McGlothern's fighting for his spot. Last year, he made the 53-man roster as one of 2 UDFAs, alongside Taki Taimani. This year, he's got competition from Zamea Vaughn and others. Will he lock in a roster spot again? Let's hear your take. Alright, Vikings Nation, it's time to wrap this up with a bang. Dwight McGlothern's rise is the kind of story that gets us fired up. Undrafted, overlooked, but fighting like a true Viking. His back-to-back interceptions in camp are a reminder that this team's got depth and hunger in the secondary. With the preseason kicking off soon, all eyes are on Nudie to keep making plays and force his way into the rotation. The Vikings are building something special in 2025, and McGlothern could be a key piece. Whether he's CB4 or pushing for more, his instincts and ball skills are giving us hope. Can he be the next great undrafted find for Minnesota, like Ivan Pace Jr. or Adam Thielen? What's your bold prediction for his season? Drop it in the comments and let's keep the Skol spirit alive. If you love this breakdown, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell for more Vikings news. Share this video with your fellow fans, and let's pack the comments with your thoughts on McGlothern and our secondary. Skol Vikings, and let's keep pushing for that Super Bowl. See you next time.